Welcome back to the Home Stretch podcast, and today we're going to be talking all about what to actually expect when you send your deposit, when you exchange, and when you complete on a house. Now, this is kind of for first-time buyers that have never been through the process before, and you kind of want to get a little bit of information as to what actually happens, how things work, and yeah, I'm going to basically talk through what happened with us, and hopefully you'll be a little bit more well equipped to deal with the situation when it comes to you exchanging, completing, and sending your deposit. Because we had absolutely no idea what happened when we sent deposits and exchange and completed. So I wish that there was something like this for me when I was going through the process. So I kind of had a little bit of expectations on what was going to happen. So when you do eventually send your deposit, this is very, very, very late in the process, literally at the end. When you do send your deposit, you can expect to exchange and complete within the next couple weeks. And it is the scariest thing, sending your deposit money, can I just say. You're sending so much money. It all happens very, very fast, one after another. But it's actually a really exciting time because you've gone through possible delays like we did, or you've had a really smooth process, but it just means you're so close to the end now. So the end is in sight. When deposits get spoken about with your solicitor, it's like, oh my God, yes. So get excited because that means you are so close to getting your keys and everything has been worth it. When you are discussing things with your solicitor about deposit money, it usually means that all the inquiries are back. You've had your full searches completed, you've had all the documents back from your solicitor, which is great, and then you're ready to send your deposit money. So obviously you'll know at the start of the process how much you're going to be sending towards your deposit, whether that's 5%, 10%, or even more, which is great. You would have had this money kind of ready for when you're about to send the money. So going back to our situation, so we sent across our deposit money and we didn't move in for another 2 weeks. Now, there was a bit of a delay with us because actually it was longer than that. It might have been more like 3 weeks because there was a delay with our LISA. Of course, there was a delay with the LISA, but basically because we took the LISA, lifetime ISA money, out to our solicitor way in advance, which we really shouldn't have done, it was held with the bank, Starling, I think my boyfriend was with. Nathan was with Starling. Yeah, Nathan was with Starling. And it basically sits with them until it gets changed over to your solicitor to put towards your deposit. So because we took it out and it was sat with the bank for 3 months, we had to basically extend this, and that gets sent to HMRC, so you're waiting on them, and it was just this whole kerfuffle. I'm going to do a whole episode on lifetime ISAs because we went through some crazy stuff and I learned so much. So when everything was right up to the end moment, we basically sent our deposit money. Now, when you do this and your solicitor asks, they might not offer it, but you suggest that you're going to send, I don't know, £10 or even £5 or £1 to your solicitor just to make sure that they receive it okay, because all they give you is bank details on a piece of paper or online. And when you're sending a lot of money, ours is £42,000. When you're sending that much money, you want to make sure it's going to the right place. So to have a little bit of peace of mind, add them to your bank, say to your solicitor you're going to send a test, £10, let them know how much, put it as a reference, and they'll expect it, and ask them to confirm that they've received that before you send your big, large deposit money. Because I'm so glad that Nathan suggested we did that, because in your mind you're like, oh, I know that they've got the deposit money, so then that's fine. Because when you're sending that much money across, it is really stressful and scary because you're like, oh my God, what if I put in one wrong sort code or the account number's wrong or whatever. It's just peace of mind, and it's worth it. I promise you, for a little bit of extra hassle, it is worth it. So we did that, and then we sent across our full deposit. They confirmed they had it. Great, amazing. And then we obviously had the LISA situation, so we had to wait for a good 3 weeks. Now, because of that, you actually get It depends on each solicitor, but with ours, we got interest on the money because obviously they're now sat with that £42,000 in their bank, making potential interest on it. And because of that, the interest that they gain is still your money. So don't feel like if you've taken it out and it's sat with your solicitor for a while that they keep that interest. They don't. You do. I mean, ours did anyways. I don't know if it's different with any other solicitor, but with us, we got to keep that, which was great. So then your solicitor holds the money until the exchange happens. Now, up until this point, you now don't have to do anything else really. It's kind of out of your control. You've sent the deposit, that's all you can do. Now you're just waiting for exchange of contracts. So when it comes to exchange of contracts, that basically means that you'll be legally binded into purchasing this property that you're buying. So it doesn't mean that you have the property and it is yours when you exchange. It just means that it's legally binded now. It's more of a tough situation to get out of if you change your mind, because if you do, you're liable for losing your deposit money. So before sending it and, confirming about the exchange, make sure that you are happy to go through the process and the purchase of the property. Otherwise, you could lose all that money. So when you exchange, that means now that you can't back out without there being huge financial consequences. So you have to obviously be wanting to purchase this house. Otherwise, don't send the money. So when it comes to the exchanging of contracts, you don't actually do anything. You don't sign anything. You've already done all of that. All the documents beforehand leading up to the exchange, you've already done, like the title deed and stuff like that. All of that's been done in the background. All the exchange is a phone call with your solicitor to double check that you're happy to go through the process. So they'll call you. I think ours called us at like 4:00 in the afternoon and said, guys, we've got great news. We're ready to exchange contracts. I'm going to read out some stuff and then let me know if you're happy with it and then we can go ahead. And basically all your solicitor will do is read out some things in terms of like the house address. Oh, there's a robin outside. How lovely. They'll read out your house address, how much money you're putting down as a deposit, what your mortgage is, like just the main pieces of information about the whole house sale in general. They'll double, triple check, make sure you're happy to still go ahead with it before they put through the exchange. You think it's this whole big thing, but like nothing actually really happens. You just have like a 5-minute call with your solicitor and then it's like, right guys, you've exchanged. Yay. Just before your exchange, you should really be talking about when you'll be completing. So the date, you'll probably have a date in mind and liaising with the sellers on when's the best day to complete. Now, ours from exchange to completion was exactly 7 days. I think we moved in on a Tuesday. And if you move in at the end of the month, you will be paying less toward your mortgage on the first month of your mortgage repayments. So let me kind of like reframe that in a different way. So if you moved into your property on, let's say, the 2nd of February, on the 1st of March, if that's the day that you start paying back your mortgage repayments, you'll be paying for the whole of Feb plus March, because basically you pay in like a month arrears with your mortgage. There might be different lenders that do it in different ways, but I generally think this is like how a mortgage works for most lenders. We went with Halifax and this is what happened to us. If you basically move in earlier in the month, you'll be paying back more. So you might get a double payment on your mortgage. Now, we moved in on I think it was like Feb the 18th. So we didn't pay like a huge load in our first mortgage repayment, but some people will literally pay double their monthly mortgage repayments in like the first payment, if that makes sense. So if you're trying to like organize your completion date, I personally would, if I was to go back and do it again, try and do it as later in the month as you can. Now, I have also heard stories of people doing it too late where it was still the end of the month but they still paid for 2 months. Weirdly, I don't know, it's different for every lender and different for every person and circumstance, but it's definitely something to bear in mind if you're discussing or talking about a completion date that's going to work in your favor. So we got the call, we've got the completion date confirmed for the week later. God, imagine moving in a month later after you exchange. That would not be fun. We've exchanged and going to complete of exactly a week after. Now, within that week, you literally don't do anything. You are packing. You want to get your bags ready. You want to like do out some drawers if you haven't done it yet. Like, it's getting serious now. You are going to be moving next week. And like I said before, it will all depend on if there's any reason as to why you're not going to move in from exchange to completion. Now, if it's the seller's fault and they pull out, then you will get your deposit back, I'm pretty sure. But if it's your fault and you're the ones that pull out somehow, you are liable for that deposit money that you've sent across, because that's your responsibility. You've exchanged, you've like gone through the process and that sort of thing. I think obviously that didn't happen to us, so we don't know. So I don't know the ins and outs. It's a really exciting time because you're getting ready and you're getting excited and it's building up to completion day. And yeah, it's just all in all a great time, especially when you've gone through so many delays, so many setbacks, so much anxiety, so much stress. And it's like, oh my God, the day is now finally here. We are going to move into this house. Like, how is this happening? I think it was the most happy and excited I've been from like a good 7 months from when we like just got the house offer approved roundabout. So it was a really exciting time. And I feel like, you know that it's happening now, so you can actually start getting excited for it. So that brings me to completion day. Now, this is the best day of your life. You know that it's completion day, you know it's the day that you're going to get your keys, and now it's just a matter of when. So there's going to be a few factors that play a part in this. It will all depend on whether your chain, how big the chain is. So us and the sellers, and technically the property developer with their new build. But we were technically in a chain of 3. But realistically, it was just us, the sellers, and then the property developer. Obviously, no one was moving out of that place, so they were just going to move straight in. If your chain is large and you're at the bottom of the chain, if you're a first-time buyer, you probably will be at the bottom of the chain. You will probably be moving a lot later on in the day. I think the latest that you can get a call to collect your keys is at 5. That's when the estate agents shut. And the earliest, I don't know, maybe 9 o'clock, maybe 8 o'clock, I'm not too sure. For our situation, we got a phone call at like 10 past 10 in the morning saying, yep, the sellers have moved out. They've dropped the keys off. You can come pick them up from us whenever. And we were like, oh my God, it happened like so much earlier than we thought. And we were kind of scrambling around. We were like, we're still working. We booked only a half day, so we won't get you to you till lunchtime. But honestly, completion day is you'll get a phone call at some point, you won't know when, from either the estate agents or your solicitor, or both. I think we got both. And they'll say that the sellers have moved out and you're ready to move in. And you have to go to the estate agent's office directly and pick up the keys. So we had the call, we worked until the afternoon, and then we drove and picked up our keys. So we went straight into town. We went to the estate agent's office and we said, we're here to collect our keys. Also, make sure you bring a driver's license with you, like a form of ID or a passport or something, because if you haven't gone to them before and shown your ID in some way, they might ask you for proof to make sure that you are like the buyers, if that makes sense. So don't get stung with like putting it deep in a suitcase that's in the back of your car. Just have it handy with you just in case they ask. But it will all depend on if you've like shown it to them before or you've gone into their office before. We had, so we didn't need to show ours again, but we brought it just in case. So that is just a little tip to bring it with you just in case. So we went there, picked up our keys, was really excited, and then literally turned up at the house and walked into a beautiful, empty, very, very clean house. And that is basically completion day. It's not a massive fuss. It's not a big hoo-ha. It's, you literally get a call, you go and pick up your keys, and then you go to your new house. And it is honestly, I wish we could relive it. I will remember that day forever. It was such a fun and exciting day. And I just remember us walking around and taking loads of photos and videos. Like, make sure you do that when you first move in, because you will absolutely love looking back at that later down the line. Like, we still look back at it now and I'm like, oh my God, it looks so different. Even though there's still some things that are the same. Yeah, it is very, very different. But yeah, that's kind of it. There's nothing really too crazy about it, but you're just full of excitement. The whole sending deposit, exchanging and completing are like the most funnest parts of the whole process, because you know it's over. And I won't lie to you, the second you pick up your keys, all the stress goes away because you know that the house is yours now. And it is such a euphoric feeling that I cannot explain. And it probably was a bigger deal for me because we went through so many delays, and it might be for you too, but it is just such a fun day. Just a little quick tip as well. When you do get to the new house on completion day, make sure you take photos of the water thing usually it's on the pavement if you're living in England, but you go out to the pavement, there's like a circle on the floor. If you prop it up, it might not have been open for quite a while, but try and prop it open with like a screwdriver or something and take a photo of what it says, like the dial on there, because that's what you'll send to the water company to then say like you are now going to be paying for the bill from then on out. So you basically don't want to be paying for the seller's water bill before and their gas and electric. So find where the gas and electric cupboard is, where it shows like the digits of like what the usage is, and take a photo of that too, because then you'll want to send that to the suppliers to then not be paying anything before that. Does that kind of make sense? So do that before you turn on any lights and things like that. And yeah, basically unpack your stuff and have a really long day. The day of completion is filled with unpacking boxes and just doing trips if you're living kind of fairly close by. But my best advice is to just lob everything in one room. Some people might be super organized and have like put all their kitchen stuff in the kitchen, all their living room stuff in the living room, all the bedroom stuff in the bedroom. We did not have time for that. We started putting kitchen stuff in the kitchen and I was like, we just need to get it in. We need to get everything in the house so it's here, and we'll just sort it all out tomorrow because we both had the day of work. And that worked out perfectly for us, to be honest, because we were able to actually enjoy sitting in the house, walking around, like getting a proper feel for it. So don't feel like you have to have everything unpacked and everything in its place on the day you move in. Like you just need to relax and enjoy it and actually soak it all in. Another thing to do on completion day is potentially like see your neighbours, give them a little knock. Most of the time people might come out and introduce themselves. That's kind of what happened to us. We actually met them, most of them, before when we were doing like a second or third viewing. They came out and kind of said hello and stuff, which was quite nice. So yeah, it's a nice welcome to the neighborhood. It's people that you're going to spend probably a lot of time around and you're going to see them quite often. So it's always nice to kind of introduce yourself and get that like nice common ground with people that live around you. So a really good tip that really helped me throughout the completion day is having an overnight bag. So when you're packing before you pick up your keys, make sure you have like a bag with all your essentials. So like some pajamas, your toiletries, a kettle in there as well, some tea, coffee, sugar, just having everything that is like essential that you kind of would want, because you might need coffee that day. It's just so easy to find when you've got like so many boxes and bags and suitcases and everything all around you. You know what your overnight bag is, and that's what you can use for the evening, if that makes sense. Also, you will probably not get your bed up if you're going to make it that night. Just put a mattress on the floor and put the bedding on the mattress, because you do not have time. Your back is killing. All you want to do is have pizza or a takeaway and just chill. Trust me, you do not want to be making a bed that can take you hours. Just stick the mattress on the floor if you've got that, or a couch or whatever you have to sleep on, and just do that. And order a takeaway. You need to have a takeaway on the completion day. It's just a thing. And trust me, you will not want to cook. It is the last thing that's on your mind. You literally want to sit there, chill, have maybe a glass of red wine, have a pizza, and watch telly on the floor in the living room or in the bedroom or whatever. It is the most amazing feeling ever. So that is basically it for deposits, exchanging and completing on your first house. I hope a few of those tips were useful, because they were definitely for me. So hopefully they are for you too. But congratulations, you have just bought your first house. It is the most incredible feeling. You will remember this for the rest of your life, and you've gone into it now knowing what the whole process is like, and you'll now go into buying your second home with a lot wider eyes and a bit more of an understanding of the whole process. But it's exciting and you need to enjoy every single moment. Like I said, take pictures, take videos. Your future self will thank you, because you'll be able to look back and be like, wow, we have done that. We have bought our first house and this is what we've done to it in the years to come. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed that episode and it was somehow useful. Let me know if you've completed on your house, or if you're leading up to it, or if you've been in your house for a while, and maybe some tips that helped you on completion day, or you know, other things that could be quite useful for other viewers. I think that would be quite nice to share. I think sharing is caring. We all have to be there for each other when we've gone through the hardest thing of our life. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I will see you on the next episode of the Homestretch podcast.